Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Testing, 1 2 1 2 testing. All right, all right. Oh, there you go. All right, man. Let me get my windows set up. It's foundation time. Definitely praying everyone is having a wonderful evening. As you can see, man, it's your boy. I'm in here. Making sure everything is up to par. All right, man. Yep. Hold up. So hopefully everyone can see me. I'm trying to make sure all my windows are showing up. But okay, it look like everything's a go. But I'll give you guys one more minute so I can get ready to go in. Definitely gonna be efficient tonight, not gonna be too long. If you up in here, definitely shout your brother out so I can say hello. Um yeah, it's definitely been quite the week, right? Definitely quite the week. But anyway, I'm ready to jump straight into it. Like I said, I'm not gonna be too long tonight. Definitely gonna be efficient, because I know everyone's time is valuable. Um, but yeah, man, let me take a deep breath and say, welcome to the foundation. It is yours truly, the incredible DJ Battle in the building. And as you can see, man, I'm rolling solo tonight. Would definitely wish I had my partner in crime up here to chop it up, but with wintertime, man, folks get under the weather and but still gotta, make sure you people can get a good show and get caught up to speed with everything. So, with that, let me go ahead and jump into the disclaimer, basically letting you guys know that, hey, man, it's just your boy rolling solo tonight. Just gonna catch you up with a few topics that took place in between the last show and today. And, we don't want no drama, no BS, none of the above, no legal issues. And that's because this is only for entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. Now, hey Lexi, what's going on? So yeah, man, we gonna pick up where we left off last week. Everyone remember last week when the CEO from you know, that got tragically unalived in front of the hotel, and it's been crazy ever since. The hunt's been on looking for the shooter, and of course the identity was revealed, and you know the United Healthcare CEO was taken out by supposedly a light-skinned guy, look, named Luigi Marioni. Now the first thing, of course, everyone want to jump out at, and I thought it was some BS too, and I thought it was funny. I was like, damn, uh, light skin? The suspect is light skin? Like, come on, man. Y'all, is it something wrong? Just say it's a white male that was unalived? Hell, was the victim light skin? Just asking for a friend. Um, there's nothing wrong with going through with the description and just calling it like you see it. You just Yeah, okay, we want to be technical. I mean, yeah, okay, he's light skin, but like I say, so is the victim. So So we can't just get tricky with the terms and try to make it seem like, oh, well, maybe it was somebody else. We know exactly what the term means when you start throwing in words like light skin. You insinuating that it was a black man that did it, right? Uh-oh, almost gave it away. But it's crazy, man. Dude goes to McDonald's and gets captured in Altoona, New York. I mean, imagine that, man. This guy. gets caught with the weapon, supposedly. I mean, we just going by what they tell us. There's always the other side of the story. For all we know, he could have been set up, right? So so the McDonald's worker, just working, just flipping the fries through, making sure everybody good, getting them hot, and you just noticed that. That's the suspect. Oh, there's a reward number. Let me go ahead and call. Yeah, this is it right here. I found him. He's here in McDonald's. And crazy thing about it is, I heard that the whistleblower, the person who caught him, the person who whistleblower might not get paid, and which I find it kind of hard to believe, but you never know because he didn't follow directions. I guess he was supposed to alert the hotline first and then the authorities. I'm like, what the hell difference does it make? If you got a killer that's on the loose, um, you want to go ahead and reward this man, which I find kind of crazy, what I mean, if this brother don't get paid, or whoever this person is that whistleblower, if he don't get paid, then it's not going to be a good look for future killers out there that's on the run. It's just something to think about. Now the interesting thing is, ever since the CEO from United Healthcare was snuffed out last week. This brother, this guy behind us, man, he's been getting Luigi. His name is Luigi. He's been getting a lot of support, almost like a hero-like um, response. I mean, folks are they send a lot of donations to try to help him out. It's like, they don't look at him any different than the CEO or any other CEO that of a insurance company that gets, huge bonuses off of denials. Um, Still that doesn't justify going to snuff somebody out. But it's just interesting on how he's really looked at as a good guy or, a savior. I do understand that he had a really bad back surgery and he comes from a very wealthy background too, from my understanding. So, it really kind of doesn't make sense why he would um why would he go through with this this mission if he did it. Let's just assume we remember you for in certain cases you're innocent to prove guilty. We know the cases where you're guilty until you're proven innocent. But yeah, this is a very interesting case, and being that this happened, that he got turned in at McDonald's and he had the ghost gun on him. I'm like, man, this dude has some elaborate weapons and he still had the weapon on him. Not a good look, but I think we got a good look at the whistleblower. I tipped you may have got a hint, but I think we got what photos we got coming in. Up there it is. The guy that served them fries. I knew it. I knew it. I don't know why he would want that guy dead. Maybe he owed him some money. Who knows? But I always got to interject some type of humor in there. That's crazy though, right? But yeah, that's like I say though. This story is the twist and turns it has is something else. So we'll definitely see how that'll play out. But yeah, definitely a sad story. Now on to the other story, man. And I'm pretty sure this one has our community in open arms too, because we remember this situation from when it happened, and of course we touched on it, and I predicted it back then that he was gonna get off. Daniel Penny, um, the ex-Marine that choked out the brother on the subway because he was loud and seemed dangerous. So I'm like, okay, loud and seemed dangerous. So now you set a new precedent so that if a person is loud, um, sounds violent, hasn't laid hands on you, but just loud, that gives you a great area to choke them out. You know, of course, it's easy to say, "Oh, I wish I wouldn't have, I didn't try to kill him." But anybody knows when you're a Marine, and I talk to many Marines, I know quite a couple of them. You know what I'm saying that. I said, nah, bro, this brother knew exactly what he was doing. And you know exactly when you're doing when you cut off that air supply for a certain amount of time that you could do some serious damage. This brother didn't pose any kind of threat. And there's other ways you can subdue somebody without cutting their air off. Um, and it doesn't help that the accomplices that were there just holding his legs and he couldn't really defend himself or get himself a loose. So the verdict of letting Penny go, that it wasn't no surprise at all. When they came across the screen, I was like, it was like no emotion. Like, yeah, this is what I expected. Now had it been reversed, I don't know if it would have been the same verdict. It would have been a long drawn out and eventually a guilty verdict. But it's the country we live in. That's how things play out. But I don't. I'm willing to bet this won't be the end of that story. You know, Daniel's gonna have to be very careful, especially because you know, the outcome of the situation where it's gonna be perceived as he's pretty much a murderer, that got away with it. So I mean, it's an unfortunate situation. We I just don't see, honestly, don't see a peaceful outcome. It may get quiet for a minute, but the moment somebody recognizes them, and I already seen certain groups put it out there, like, you know what, vigilante justice should prevail. So I'm like, oh shit, there they go. So dude gonna have to be careful. You know, it's like I said, let's give it some time and see if it'll cool down or will some drama pop off from it. But anyway, definitely gonna leave that one alone. Go to the next story, man. Now this situation right here, man. Pretty sure everyone, like I said last week, we talked about this story with Biden pardoning his son, which wasn't a huge surprise. But something else interesting has popped up, and that's Biden. He's pardoning a lot of folks right now, and so I'm like paying attention. I'm like, okay, what's really going on? And then I don't know if people saw the interview where representative from South Carolina, um, Representative Clyburn, floated the idea around of pardoning Trump. Like, yeah, he should pardon, he should, he should pardon, he should pardon Mr. Trump's. He just he wants peace for him, and he just wants to pardon Mr. Trump. That would be a good idea and a good gesture. He just want to bring the countries together. And I'm looking at and listening to this BS. Like, really, really interesting. So now the idea has been floated around of pardoning Trump. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened either. I wouldn't be surprised. And it'd pretty much go to my overall point, what I've been saying a long time. The whole time I've been doing this podcast. The whole time I say it's only one party. Only one party. Yeah, they do theatrics and throw jabs at each other, but when it comes down to it, some serious, they'll look out for each other. And this would be a classic example. I wouldn't be surprised out of all those names that's all those people who've been pardoned. I wouldn't be surprised if they slide Trump in there too. Give it about a week. I guarantee you. Definitely before inauguration. Definitely. You know, because Biden's an upstanding guy. No, it's not. It's more than just that. These they really deep down rock with each other. Even when you remember when Hillary and Trump was going back and forth and they was real personal with their attacks. But then once Trump won and his followers were pressing him about sending Hillary to jail because remember she had all those emails deleted, right? And he said he was going to put her in jail. Did he put her in jail? Nah, in fact, he went above and said, "Nah, it's time to move forward from that. It's time for us to come together." Which I was like, "Shit, aha!" So this is nothing. This isn't anything different. Um, you know, and this is a good guy who you can use for a scapegoat to get out there, put that message out there. Boss man just want to make sure that that Trump get a clean slate so that the country comes together. Did you say Lex? He said, "Yep, he was campaigning on putting her in jail." Yeah, he campaigned on that, but did he do it? Trump sure didn't. He sure didn't. What up, though, Steve? But I just find that really interesting, and now you really start to see that it's really one party. It really is. That's why this whole people panicking about Trump and what's going to happen. Don't do it. Don't fall for it. At the end of the day, you still gonna have to work. You still gonna have to go forward with your life, and it's not gonna change that drastic. They can't afford for it to change that drastic. It'll get, especially when you got the Second Amendment right. People will lose their head at some point. So it's only you may see some difference, but it won't be to the extreme that people think that it's the sky about to fall. Yeah, you need to prep. You still need to stay ready in case something do pop off. You should do that anyway, because anything can pop off. But anyway, definitely gonna move past that. I just want you to peep that out. That it's business as usual. Don't fall for the theatrics. Always stay in the middle and look down on the situation instead of being on the left and the right. So at least that's my approach. So, but anyway, on to the next subject. Now, everyone remembers that when Bill Gates kept talking about the next pandemic, and you started seeing once we got past COVID, you started seeing um, the monkeypox. They tried to throw that out there. Hope they throw it on the wall and hope it stick. Yeah, it got a couple people, but it just couldn't spread. Just couldn't spread like they wanted to. So they said, you know what? Let's get back to the drawing board. So here we go. Here we go. Now they have disease X. That's what they call it. They just didn't have time to neighbors. They just said, they just said X, disease X. So this is something common to a flu. Sound familiar, right? Um, and of course, it some people it does kill. Now, for right now, they have it in the Congo, in Africa, and I'm like, man, they always try the same blueprint. Like, oh, it formulated, it started in Africa, like what, Ebola? It's the same place. Y'all using the same. Y'all just get lazy with the locations. Go put it in the Congo and just scare everybody. Well, there's some cases out there, and there's a few people that pass. I don't think it's really spreading like wildfire just yet. But you give them time, they'll figure out ways on how to get the flames going. If it's really that big of a deal as far as this disease potentially being a game changer, then just limit travel there. Keep the people there and don't let them leave. I mean, I know that sounds cruel, but kind of keep them quarantined and really get down to what's going on if you really want to contain it. But we know how that'll play out. It'll be somebody that'll just sneak off into a plane and fly to either Washington D.C. or New York or Chicago or Washington State or California. We know the blueprint. They'll get out there and play with some kids, play with somebody, get the coughing. And before you know it, outbreak. We got an outbreak. Contagion, or it's it's the same blueprint, man. And everybody, it's not gonna be the same effect like it was with COVID when everyone, shut everything down, quarantine. They gonna try their best to get to that point, but I just don't see it happening, man. I just don't. I just don't. So, I pray that it's another situation where it gets a little attention, then it just dies down, and people can go on with their daily lives. And I hope that's just the way that it stays, because we don't need the last thing we need is go back to 2019 and everyone just sitting at home and we definitely don't need folks to be on Zoom calls thinking they turn the camera off and get busy in the background for the whole world to see. But But yeah, man, I definitely, what you say, Lex, you said a shipment of monkeys crashed. Yeah, what was that at? Was that Philly or Pennsylvania where they had some, oh, it was another case. I know one was in Philly where apparently scratched a woman or something like that. I said, it sounds just like a damn movie. But there was another case in, like, was it South Carolina when 20 monkeys escaped from a lab or something like that? They on the loose, coming to a neighborhood near you. I'm like, damn, boy, everything got to be so dramatic and make it. They got to make it so you can close your eyes and imagine. You can't even sleep good. You might hear something in the garbage can in the background. Go out there shooting up the garbage can. End up shooting a neighborhood dog or cat. So we haven't heard anything else ever since those monkeys got missing in in South Carolina. I hope, just like anything else, I hope it just die down and go away and we hear nothing else about it. Maybe the monkeys they just chilling, they ain't bothering nobody, and more importantly, hopefully they're not infected with anything. So because it'd be a shame. I mean, well, if anyone with that knowledge, knowing that it's some monkeys that possibly have any kind of scientific experiment or a disease, they're probably shooting from a distance. They probably have them scoped out. Pow! So so yeah, let's just hope that story also just died because I haven't heard anything about the monkeys. Well, if anything, they probably dead from the damn cold because it's been cold as I don't know what lately. I don't know what it is, but it's been unseasonably cold down here in the south. I can handle it because I grew up in those conditions, but it's been unseasonably cold down here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe they'll catch them. They'll find them in March when they frozen. But it's just interesting. So definitely gonna pass on to the next story. Now, this story right here, man. This story right here had me pissed off, man. Um, College Park, 15-year-old girl, a volleyball player. She was doing some laps, and she collapsed. And of course, they called EMS, attempted CPR. I don't know if they were successful with getting her um, to revive. But what they did the very first thing you supposed to do is call EMS, um, so that they can get there and attend to the situation and stabilize her. Get her basically get her to a good point, or at least get her to a safe place where she can be monitored. Now, there's always that golden hour where ambulance is supposed to come. Usually they're there, within 15 minutes if you're at a really good location. Now, they waited over an hour after she and collapsed and never came. They took her to the hospital and she eventually passed away. But obviously, man, over an hour and you just sitting there, we don't know if she getting oxygen. I mean, that's a long time. You know, I really feel for her parents or loved ones, the school, the community, because this is something that definitely could have been avoided if the EMS or the ambulance would have came in a timely manner. Um, but this right here is just unacceptable. I'm sorry. Over an hour, no one showed up, and I don't even think there's been any kind of response. I mean, what can you say at this point? You didn't even show up. I mean, that's and it's someone doing something as simple as practicing, and these type of things happens all the time. Whether it's basketball games. That's why it's good if you're coaching or if you're in a game like environment. You always got to have someone that knows CPR and that has a medical background. I don't care what level, and I just cringe when I see situations where, and I've seen it all the time. I've seen it a lot where there's a game taking place, and I'm looking around. I'm like, I don't see no medical people, and it could be something as simple as players. How when they dive for a ball and they tussle and roll on the floor, they don't even have a towel boy to come wipe the sweat up. So that right there is a recipe for disaster. Just from a concussion if somebody slip or break an ankle, tear a ligament. I mean. and then everyone's a spectator, even the coaches or even the assistant coaches or uh, no one's knows there's no medical personnel. I'm like, man, this should be criminal. But this right here, and anything can happen as far as a heart issue, a cardiovascular issue, where someone could pass out. That can always happen. We've seen that happen many times with Hank Gathers and Reggie Lewis and many other players, that pass out, and you have to be, places at a standstill, but the medical personnel is right there to take care of it and get them to safety. But this wasn't the case here. Whole hour passed by. No one shows up. So that's just so horrible. So so now when I have my kids out there, I'm always looking like, man, what's up with the medical personnel? I make sure I get CPR certified. But man, I just think that organizations really need to be cognizant of having the right medical personnel when you hold um, any kind of athletic training camps. Um, you got all these kids camps where they teach kids organized sports, which I love. I'm all for that, but you got to have somebody there that can address those situations, whether it's CPR or some type of medical certification, nurse or somebody. You got to have somebody on standby to stabilize the situation until the ambulance gets there. And like she said, with athletes checking out younger and younger now, there always needs to be medical help on standby. I agree 100%. And we talk about the folks that took the jab and still out there competing hard. We've seen players start to just have more and more heart issues more than ever, or cardiovascular. I'm not gonna just say that it's from the jab, but it's just a coincidence that it's going through it's a whole lot of those situations happening where players who didn't have any cardiovascular issues all of a sudden have them. So just throwing that out there. So if you have your kid out there competing, man, make sure that they had the medical personnel. Like get on the athletic directors or get on the coaches. Like, hey, what who who know how to work the defibrillator? Who know how to do CPR? Because anything can happen. Anything. So definitely want to pray for Amanda Sylvester. That's the young lady's name. That's a tough blow. You're going out there competing and then I think this is unnecessary because over an hour, a whole lot could have been done under that hour, but over an hour, man, that's a long time. Too long. Yeah, yeah, but on to the next situation. Now, this situation is, we're gonna stay with sports and with medical. Um, Randy Moss, when he came on the football, he always gives his commentary. I want to say it's on Fox, where he gives his expertise because he's one of the greatest, wide receivers to ever play the game. So of course his expertise is always good to hear him commentate and give his feedback. And and when he came on the last time, I want to say it was 2 weeks ago or something like that. And you look at his eye, you look at his eyes, and you see the yellow. I'm like, man, somewhere on my TV. Let me make some adjustments. I'm thinking, well, this maybe this can't be right. This brother eyes can't be this yellow. But like anything else, when you go on X or Twitter, what used to be Twitter, and what's trending is Randy's yellow eyes and what's going on with Randy. And then of course, he addressed it on the next show. He addressed it basically saying he's going to take a leave or walk away from the game to deal with some medical issues. So I'm like, damn, boy, that's a tough blow right there. I mean, his brother had a Hall of Fame career. Like I said, played at a high level the whole time, and to deal with these medical issues, you don't know what these players put their body through when they compete on that level. They play at such a high level, and we don't know, what lifestyle choices he may make. Could be an illness. Who knows what it is? He probably knows, and not probably not ready to disclose it yet. Um, which makes it kind of disappointing for Larry Fitzgerald's father, Larry Fitzgerald Sr. Just all of a sudden, puts an announcement that Randy has liver cancer. And in my mind, I'm like, well, if he has liver cancer, why is it coming from Larry Fitzgerald's father? Wouldn't that be something Randy would want to disclose to the world himself? You know, I mean, we can look at it and see that he's going through an issue, but none of us are medical doctors or can really give him a diagnosis to say what it is. It could be jaundice, it could be some kidney issues, liver issues. Who knows what it could be? But to just flat out put a diagnosis on someone's condition, and you haven't even examined a person or qualified to do it, and whether he has it or not, shouldn't it should come from Randy first. So I don't know what what this what Larry Fitzgerald's father was thinking about. And I think honestly that's foul when you take the liberty of disclosing someone's illness without consent. Um and I know in the medical profession that's a HIPAA violation. That can put you in some deep trouble. So You know, I don't know if anyone heard anything different about what he's, been diagnosed with. Obviously, we know it's something it got to be with something wrong with his liver or kidneys. Um, and all we can do is pray that, whatever it is that he can get addressed and get healed from it. So that's my take on it. I can't really say or diagnose what it is. The only thing we can do is pray for the brother, and that's as far as it should go. Um, but yeah, so I'm not gonna hang too much time on that. Um, I got a couple more topics. Now, this young brother right here, um, Travis Hunter, um, probably one of the best two-way players in the game, of football, and in my book, the leading Heisman candidate, and should be. I mean, most people, it's one thing for a person to dominate on offense, but to dominate on offense and defense, the conditioning you have to be in to be able to play on such a level. I think the closest thing we've seen to that was probably Charles Woodson, and he honestly, I think he's probably play offense better than Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson was athletic enough to pull it off, but not to the level he's playing on is we didn't even think it was sustainable. We didn't think it was sustainable to even play on that level on both ends because that's a lot of snaps. That's a lot of plays you're playing. You have to be very conditioned to play on one side of the ball. He's playing at a high level on both ends. So if he don't get the Heisman this weekend, to me it's just a crop because it's clearly the best player. But reason why we bring him up is he's been in a spotlight for another reason, and I think the comedian Godfrey touched on it because there was a situation um, where after a game Colorado won, and Travis, I think he took a picture with one of the cheerleaders or just a random chick, something that athletes do. Was innocent, nothing malicious, just a friendly picture. Um, so after playing a very good game, he goes up, to the stands to greet his fiance, and she's not talking to him. She giving him the business. So I'm looking at it. I'm just like, well, that's their business, whatever they're going through. But of course, the optics of it is like, why is this chick dissing them? And and then they had a video of them together with pajamas on, them talking about how they met, and of course, um, it came to the light that she said that when he approached her at first, she didn't care that much for him. But then all of a sudden, she just um, took a liking to him. So, so of course, I'm like, oh boy, she opened up a can of worms by saying that because everyone knows that, okay, you didn't like him at first, and for me personally, I don't care because it's their story. But of course, anytime folks do research and they say, "Oh well, damn, he's a star football player and he's making a lot of money." Because keep in mind, they make money as well, and he's getting paid big money. He has a nice place out in Colorado, so of course, everyone else is looking at her like, man, who she thinks she is, and looking at it from a gold digger perspective because, and they're looking at Travis like he's naive because he's making this announcement that they're pregnant and expecting and and people just weren't feeling her because they looked at her like, oh, you just jumped in for the bag. You just get you going you, and tell him he should run. And then Godfrey went in on him too. And I'm like, Godfrey just said, look, you need to get out that situation or just be careful. Folks putting out suggestions like put everything in your mama's name because she gonna take everything you got. So, like I say, you know, I I don't it's not my business first and foremost. It's his life decision. He's under the direction of Deion Sanders, who knows a whole lot about that. So I'm pretty sure Deion gave him some good guidance on what to look out for. And I would just leave it at that. Let that man make his decisions. Um, and most people would say like, how can he be so naive and calling him dumb? And I'm like, the dude's a 4.0 student. And he's a star player, and he's making millions of dollars already in college, just playing football. So he made some good decisions. I mean, you have to you really have to keep in mind that for him to play at the level that he's playing at, he had to dedicate a lot of time in the gym, and that means okay, you may not have a lot of experience with dealing with girls, so he gonna make mistakes. He gonna make some mistakes. His may come at a later time because he dedicated so much of his time to his craft that that maybe socially he feel like he's comfortable with his decision making. Time will tell if it's the right decision or not, but that'll be for him to go through. You know, I hope everything works out and it's not a typical, once he, blow a knee and she just ditch him or I really hope that things work out for him. But a lot of folks is going in like this is a gold digger situation. Hey, all I can say is let that man learn on his own. How else is he gonna learn? He has to. If this is his first situation, that's yeah. He gonna have to learn. Everybody don't have the same experience. But like I said, I hope everything works out for him because he's a good-hearted brother. He's never in trouble. Um, you know, he's doing very well for himself at this level of life financially, and he's trying to lay his foundation with his fiance. They building their future. Hey, let the dude live his life. That's my take on it, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. But we'll definitely stay tuned on that one. Whew. Mm. But whatever. Now, on to the next story, and we're gonna definitely stay in the state of Colorado. Now, this situation I thought was interesting. There was a cop, what should I say, a deputy that that was on the police force for 21 years, and she had to resign because it was revealed that she was also, making adult. She was an adult film star as well. And the way she broke it down was, she was in a financial bind in her younger years and had saw the opportunity to make some bread as an adult star, and and was doing well for herself once she got in the groove of things and was living that double life, which I don't really look at as a double life. I mean, is it really an issue if she's been doing her job for the last 21 years and without an issue? Then why should it be a problem that when she moonlight, she's an adult star? I mean, adult film star. I mean, what one situation has to do with the other? I just don't get it. Um, Honestly, I think they should have just left her alone and and let her do her job. You know, just to let her eat off work. You know what I'm saying? Let her get her bread. You know, let her live. But I just thought that was interesting. You know, most people may have an issue with it and say, you know, she can't do both. She obviously must have been good because she been on the force for, you know, been on the job for 21 years. So I don't know. Like I said, let the girl eat. Let her enjoy her life. And you know, if it wasn't conflicting with her ability to do her primary job, then who cares, right? But you know, that's my little spiel, and I think I'm not going to keep you guys uh, any longer. Definitely going to go ahead and get ready to get out of here and let you guys get on with your evening. Appreciate you for rocking with me, and definitely see you guys next week. You know, whether I'm solo or not, we're gonna definitely keep this bad boy moving. So hope you guys enjoy your evening and stay safe out there. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you're on YouTube. And hey, keep rocking with me because I'm gonna keep them coming.